Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I have update number 2, I believe, for my Pandas eyeshadows for you. In this project I'm working on 4 eyeshadows at the same time. I randomly generate them out of my whole eyeshadow collection and I try to hit pan on them. That is the goal. So let's take a look at how I've been doing over the last month. 4 shades that I'm working on. Let's start with the one that has been in here the longest, or the 2 I guess that have been in here the longest. And one of those is the orange shade in my Manly palette. I'm just going to show it to you guys like this. That's the shade right there. I have not hit pan on it yet, sadly enough, but I wasn't really expecting to. This is a Don't eyeshadow, so it's definitely going to take me a little while to get to pan on that one. At this point I've used it 15 times, 5 more times over the last month, so 10 times before. Not a whole lot I can say about it. It's like a nice enough, like I can put it in my crease, I could put it on my lid if I want to. Yeah, it's an okay shade. It will just take me a little while to get to the bottom of it. And then in my 88 palette right here, I was working on a bluish shade, which is, let me see how I can most easily show you guys, this guy right here. Definitely can see a good bit of progress on this one. I've actually really enjoyed using this, which surprised me because I wasn't thinking it would be something I would gravitate towards. I thought it was going to be something that would be hanging around for a long time. It's already been hanging around for 3 months, of course, but still. I've noticed that if I combine that with my NYX pigment in yellow gold, I kind of get like a slightly more greenish vibe, and that works well. I like greens, so that is a really good solution to me using that shade more. I have used it an additional 5 times this time as well. I only used it 3 times the first time, but now that I've gotten into that routine of actually combining it with the yellow, I'm using it a good bit more. So I had 8 uses in total before, the 5 on top of that, 13 right now. But also no pan yet, sadly enough. But some good progress nonetheless. You can definitely see that I've been using that one very well. Then one that I rolled in last time was my Urban Decay Vice palette. And on this one I am working on the green shade, which I don't think I even mentioned the name of it last time. This is Crowbar in my Vice palette, like I said. I only rolled this in last month, so not a huge amount of progress yet. You can definitely see it's been used at this point, which wasn't really the case, I feel like, last time. And I've used it 5 times over the last month. So that is that one. And then lastly, I put my other palettes on top of it. I have my Urban Decay shadow box. And in this one I was working on the purple shade called Flash. And I don't know if you can see it flash, but I did hit pan on this guy as well. And ridiculously enough, I hit pan after 1 use. It only took me 1 use to actually hit pan on this guy. So whatever project this has been in before, I should have just used it 1 more time. But yeah, that means another pan in this palette. And for this palette specifically, this is my focus palette this year. So now that I've had pan on the purple, I'm gonna roll in another shade randomly to see what we're going to be working on alongside the other products. Kind of curious to see what we're going to end up with. Definitely all of these are a bit more like shimmery than what I have in my Panda palette at the moment, so hoping it will combine well. But first let's talk numbers. So currently I have 70 eyeshadows with pan. That was 67 before, but I managed to hit 2 pans in my Panda palette, which you will see soon enough when I film that update, probably in a week or so. And of course I hit the 1 pan in here, so I went from 67 to 70, which brought me from 30.7% pan in my collection to a pan percentage of 14.3, because I still have a total of 488 eyeshadows in my collection right now. I did not finish anything off yet. Working on some things, of course, but no changes there. I still have 10 eyeshadows in other projects, which brings me to a total of 408 eyeshadows that I could possibly pick from. But because this is my focus palette, we're gonna go with this palette and pick something. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shades that I can still pick from left that are not the black, because as you guys know, I'm working on the black. We're not doing a black, and I'm not doing anything that is too similar to something in my Panda palette or any other project that I'm working on, but really it's only this project and my Panda palette that have eyeshadows in it right now. So I'm gonna randomize a little number and let's see what we're gonna end up with. So we're gonna put the numbers 1 till 6. Make sure we clear the history and let's see what we're gonna get. Number 2. And number 2 is Smog, which I guess is a well-known shade because I'm pretty sure that is in the Naked palette as well. Now let me see if this is different enough, because there is definitely browns in my Panda palette as well. But I do feel, because this guy has a bit of shimmer, I can work with this. Now, showing you this swatch, I'm realizing I never swatched any of the other stuff, so let's do that as well. Well, I'm thinking about it. Starting off with the shades that I showed you first. Gosh, I should get more organized when it comes to these updates because this happens a little bit too often. We've got our orange shade right there. I'm definitely going in a different direction than I normally do, but this works. Then I have my bluish shade from the 88 palette. Really, those shadows in the 88 palette just remain so like nice and buttery. That is that guy. And then we still have Crowbar from the Vice palettes. That is that guy. So it's definitely more of a grayish green, as you can see. It's kind of like an army green, but it has definitely a bit of a gray undertone with then some like brown goldeny flecks, like shimmery flecks in it as well. So that's that one. And then the one that rolled out, let me make sure I do give you a little swatch of that as well. That was the purple shade, and that is what the purple shade looked like. And like I said, I only used it once and then it was over. This palette definitely gives me a little bit more fall than it does spring, although the blue and the orange could work for spring, but these are shades that I think are easy enough for me to use. Now I have to see how that brown is really going to combine with everything else, because sometimes I think they're different enough and then I realize I would use things in a similar way, but I do feel like this is a more of a like outside of my lid type of shade that I could hopefully combine with some things, maybe even with that orange as well. Maybe even with the blue, it could be interesting. But yeah, that is it for today. Now, trying to figure out what the best gold shade is for me to see if I can hit pan, and I'm thinking, since we're going at least a little bit flat on the dome in this guy, I think this one is closest to like me finishing it, but have a feeling that's not gonna happen by next month, but we will see. Maybe I will surprise myself and you guys. Yeah. That is it for today. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I hope to see you in one of my next videos. Bye bye.